Hello everyone, this is Rare Model Reviews here, and I thank you all so much for tuning into my review of the Master Grade 1 to 100 Strike Gundam. Now, I just want to thank you guys so much for the wait. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a video, let alone a review, but excuses aside, here I am. So, first of all, we're going to start off with colors. As you can see, this thing has excellent part separation here, or color separation, I should say. The only thing I really colored in myself, or should I say lined, was the slats here in the legs there. And there's like the piece here for the chin, if you can make that out. Oh boy, where's my, there we go. The piece behind the, I guess you'd say the mouth here or face is red. So I kind of colored that in just to make sure everything looked black for the little slats in the face there. And for stickers, there weren't that many. Just the standard ones for the cameras here, front and back. And these very nice holographic looking ones for the eyes there. And I just love these things. Light catches it just right. Like, look at that. It looks almost like an LED. Top-notch stickers here. And I'm going straight into articulation here. Very amazing articulation. Has this nice, I guess you'd say like a double jointed neck. So you can see it go front, back, up and down, 360, side to side. Pull off a lot of things with head because of that. Shoulder goes up like that, but unfortunately you can't really move the arms too far up. See, it's like a little slight bend. It does have this nice joint there in the arms. I let it move far forward, 360. So as you can see, there's a lot you can do with these arms. You just got to finesse a little bit to get it to the right pose you want, because the movement on the shoulders, they're a little limited. But besides that, have a little bit of wiggle here for the joint. It does have a pretty good ab crunch though. So again, posing is definitely not this thing's weak point. The waist moves a little bit, but I just want to mention these things are very loose. I don't know if it's because I didn't put them on right or what, but you're gonna probably see that waist armor come off a lot. As you can see, the back armor there is connected. Front armor are both disconnected. However, they can move on their own, and it can move up. The legs can move up kind of high if you finesse it. It's just the fact that the leg joint here is a little loose, so you got to kind of hold this leg when you want to pose the leg, so be careful of that. It does have an excellent joint here for the legs. You can see this little piece here moves. The leg guard here has some wiggle. And I just want to really point out the movement on the toe here. They can't move too much. If you move it too much, this will pop out, so I'm going to try to avoid that from happening. However, it can bend very nicely there, so if you get this thing posed just right, you can do a lot with that. And I think I already mentioned that. Yeah, it's kind of ankle move. I didn't really go over that, but as you can see, there's a little bit of wiggle with it. So I guess we go straight into accessories. First and foremost, I want to point out that we have this little pilot figure here of Mulaflaga. There's two. The one for Kira is actually inside, and there's actually two smaller ones of Kira or Mu standing. As you can see, actually I colored Mu's hair blonde. That's where it kind of stopped. They didn't quite have the colors for their uniforms. So I'm actually doing this wrong. We're supposed to open the other one first, hence why that piece came out. But I am very ill prepared. I need to get some tweezers to get this cockpit hatch open, because this thing is a bit of a pain, but we're going to try to work around it. So actually, I know I can get this thing out with a beam saber if I can. Oof. Maybe the shield will do it. I've done this before. Just trying to avoid stuff like this from happening. Yes, I really hate when they do stuff like that, because this thing is really in here to the point you need to go grab something and fiddle around to get it out. It should construct this in a way where you don't need to pry something open. There we go. Jeez. So anyway, as you can see, the cockpit opens. If you can make that out, there's a Kira figure in there, I promise. It's just hard to see it. So you, actually, I think I did that wrong. Great. That's going to be really in there. You got to If we can do this one first. There we go. Okay, this closes. Then that closes. There we go. All right, so sorry about that. Hopefully that's the last time I have to fiddle around with accessory that bad, but as you can see, there are armor Schneiders in here. You can swing with that open. And this one does the same. Sure, you've seen it pop out. So I'm not gonna bother grabbing that one out, but before I get into it, as you can see here, we have a closed fist hand and an open palm hand. There are one of each for both hands. If you're curious, I just wanted to kind of put them on there for simplicity's sake. So I'm gonna take that off, and I believe this is the right hand here. So we're gonna put this little bracket hand on it and instead. And then we're gonna slide the knife in, like so. And voila. So I can't hold armor Schneiders in the hand there. So we're gonna take that out, fold that up, put that back in there. Voila. And then for the next accessory, I already kind of showed it off. We have the beam rifle. So we have that little handle there that swivels. Nice little sticker there, looks kind of holographic. Take that off. And there are two bracket hands for the trigger fingers, as you see. So one for each hand. We're gonna do the right hand though. Here, there's a little hole here that you can use to put that peg in. Now, one thing I want to point out is you actually can hold it with the closed hand that you've seen there for I guess you'd say melee weapons, but it won't fit in as securely as it would with the one with the trigger finger. I guess the trigger finger one helps it hold in better because there's a little bit more space. All right. I can get this thing going. I swear the rifle is not as bad as the other ones. There we go. All right. So like I said, these things falling off all the time. But yeah, so the rifle's on there pretty good. Next up, we're going to do the shield. So the shield, just show it out better than that, geez. Has this little piece here. This gets swivel back and forth. And this part has some movement as well. And this handle here actually can move off. Now you can peg this here in the bottom space. I don't know why you put it here because you can't hold this hand, the shield in the hand at all. I tried it. This is not another glorious Gundam X, unfortunately. So you, of course, have a hole in the back of the arm there. You can make that out. So you can put that in. So you can hold the, geez, I really hate this thing's all waist armor. So you, of course, can kind of hold it like that, give it that pseudo arm forward. Or, where's the hand? Here. I've done this before. I think it's a little easier if I take this out, honestly. Put that in. And then make sure I'm putting this on right. I think this would be it. Yeah. Kind of hold it like so. Actually. Push that to the side there. Plug that in. Oop, I almost had it, damn it. Kind of fudged it up. I had it for a second there too until the piece came out, but I think you guys can more or less see where I'm going here, but you can kind of get it holding in there. I just don't want to fiddle around with it too much, waste some time. But next up, let's put that back in though. There we go. Oh. Please don't do this to me, hands, please. I'm reviewing something here. All right. Next up, we have the action base here. So this thing works in a lot of different ways. First and foremost, as you can see, there's this little plug here. You can just line it up to the back there. And then this thing's really good, by the way. There's a lot of tension to it, so You kind of got to work with that tension there when you want to plug it in, but you can kind of awkwardly pose this thing like it's launching. And this thing's on a track, so there's like a lot of movement you can do with it here. Fortunately, when you have it plugged in, it's kind of limited to there, but you can simulate this thing launching, which I think is pretty cool. It's a less awkward looking pose for it. And then it has this cool little feature here where you can open up this part there. Fortunately, you have to take out the plug, but you can put it on the action base here and simulate it launching and flying around and aerial poses and all that. It does have a adapter piece for a standard action base. However, I am not sure how you plug that thing in. I don't really see any rivets for it. But again, it's there for the option if you want to figure that out. There might have been something in the manual for it. It's just, I don't plan on using it, so I could care less about looking into it. Next up, we have, or should I say lastly, honestly, we have the Air Striker here. The main reason why I got this thing, because I do have another strike. It's just, it doesn't come with an Air Striker, so let's be honest here. It's not the strike without any kind of a pack. So it's a little vanilla without it. So as you see, these little booster pods here, a wide range of movement. Beam sabers, almost 360 degrees, so they start knocking into stuff. Wings can move, actually, technically like up, but if you notice here, there's like this piece here kind of starts to get a little loose and whatnot. So we also have these little, I don't know what you'd call that, but these pieces here in the wings move as well. And it's also like, I could do it without, there we go. These pieces here slide out, and I believe this is to attach the additional striker packs to this thing. And we also have a little battery pack here you can plug into this thing. Or I think it goes into this at least. Oh, that's all right. I see what I'm doing wrong here. Oops, that's all right. You gotta slide that open. There we go. Then it reveals a little piece there. Yeah. This is, again, this is more so for the perfect strike. So if you have all the other striker packs, you can mount these together. But I don't only have this one. Eventually I'll get those ones, but those will probably be a lot further down the line. So you just mount that in there. Voila, you have the L strike. Now it does get a little back cavity from this. However, if you kind of lean it forward, it fixes that for the most part. And of course, we do have the beam sabers here. There are two. You just spin them out. And it comes with two clear pink beams, of course. It has a peg for them too. Now I just wanted to point out, if I could find it. There we go. No, that's not it. Yeah, this wasn't, I'm stupid. There's a hand, a holding hand. Geez, my big thumb. As you see, there's a peg for a holding hand, but I think this is for the sword strike because they added a few pieces here that I'm pretty sure their whole purpose was to kind of modernize the older striker pack version of this, because there's one I believe that has a launcher and sword strike, but they didn't make a remastered version of it, because this is the remastered strike Gundam. I just called it a strike, but this is a remastered strike. So this thing's kind of been updated. It's kind of a 2.0 or 1.5, if you will. So they took the old strike and updated a little bit of bracket hand and a few other things. I believe the color scheme is a little bit more vibrant, but again, if you got the older launcher sword strike combo, you could just use some of the pieces with this thing and it should be good to go. But it holds just fine. As you can see, the beam saber for the most part. So I personally find you don't really need it. But I guess that's kind of it, really. So I'm going to leave this thing off with some size comparisons. So we have the, move it over a little bit, the high grade Dagger L. Since I don't have an actual, well, you have to get the old, super old, no grade, I think, Dagger, if you want to do that. But we also have the Gundam Universe strike I was talking about. I just wanted to point out, yeah, you can get out of here, pal. This thing looks terrible compared to the Master Grade. Like, just look at it. It just looks like almost a completely different Gundam. That's how, like, I'm just gonna straight up say it bad. The proportions and details are on this thing, like just from every angle. Like if you can make that out. Hold on, so I forgot to mention this thruster on the back here. If you guys can make that out, that can actually move a little bit. But you know, like, and I just love the fact that the shield fell off too. Like, it just personifies, like, you know, how bad that thing looks compared to the Master Grade here. Maybe it wouldn't look too bad compared to a high grade, but the Master Grade looks bad. So lastly, we have the Calamity Gundam here. And this thing just looks like a monster compared to it, even with the L Striker. I thought the L Striker make it look a little bit less wimpy compared to it, but yeah, the Calamity is just a monster. I'm pretty sure this thing's only 18 meters. I'm guessing this is 17, but I don't know. It still feels a lot bigger even still. But I think I've rambled on enough. Once again, I just want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Rare Model Reviews here. And I'll see you guys on the next review. Oh, actually, hold on. No, not yet. I'm sure you guys want my closing thoughts on this thing. I do recommend the Strike Gundam. As you can see, you do have to fiddle around with things a little bit, but you can't complain with all the gimmicks it has. And as a rule of thumb, any Master Grade at that comes with an action base, you can't beat that. That's something to help give it aerial poses, keep it steady, especially when you have kind of back-heavy equipment like that. And again, it's just, if you're a Seed fan or you like what you see, a Gundam fan in general, you know, or a fan of Gundams, I don't think you can beat the Strike. Very cool kit, very cool suit in general. And I said pick it up. It's only about 50 bucks, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I got it for, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think you can beat this. So once again, guys, I'm signing out. Thank you again for watching.